Hi everybody, welcome to Wednesday. I'm taking it a little bit easy today because of feedback and how hard last week was. And so sorry about that, you guys. Also because I got a little bit of vertigo this morning, so I'm kind of like a little hazy. I'll look at your space on the side. So hope everybody can hear me, and we'll come into our low and slow practice today. So it'll still be pretty intense in the hips and the legs, but I just will be going up and down, just because I'm feeling a little bit woozy. So let's start in seated position here, which I rarely ever do, okay, you guys? Whatever you like in terms of your soft cross, you can have one foot in front of the other. You can have both legs in front. You can do hero's pose, wherever you like. And let's kind of take your hands onto your knees or your shins or just in the corners of your thighs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, settle down. Now let's come into our space today. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me. So just kind of finding whatever it is that you need for yourself. So your inhalation to receive, your exhalation to let go. And if you like to come and start with me in just a soft cat-cow or seated cat-cow, that's always a nice one. Lifting up the sternum in your inhale. And then dropping the belly down and the hips down on your exhale. So just gonna follow that breath in and out you go. And feel free to take it as slow as you like, and if I wobble a little bit, you'll know why, because I've just got my ears a little bit kind of funny. And then if you'd like to continue with your cat-cow, I want you to do that with your breath. Go slow or as quickly as you like, but not too quick. We want to make sure that it feels slow. Or next is you can come into circles. So circling of the hip, which is a really popular one with a lot of like Kundalini yoga. People love circling the hips. And always when you go one way, you go the other way. So take one direction and the other direction. But which time it's not that great, circling the hips is if it hurts your hips and your knees, so that case come shift back and forth, okay? So if you're circling and it hurts your knees or your hips, please come and switch. So maintain that breath. Notice how your breath catches on the inhale and the exhale. Maybe you're thinking about something and you just can't get yourself out of it. Just get even deeper into the breath. I'll give you another 3 more inhale, exhale here. So just kind of find your arrival into this space. And then let's come into your last one. Lengthen up, hold on to shins or knees. Come up into a seated cobra. Now this one can be a little bit funny on the spine, so just be careful that you don't lift too high. Make sure you're still rooted in the sit bones. Take another breath here in terms of just finding that lift, and then we'll drop one hand behind, just right behind you, and then take it, reach right over top of the ear, the head, take chin down towards bottom shoulder. And just lean back as much as it feels comfortable for that lateral stretch for the ribs. Inhale back to center, taking other hand just right behind you. Take it like behind your hip and reach over there. And as I said to you, like I can see you guys kind of like a little bit further away, but I can't see you, so I'm sorry if like I can't like make any corrections or do anything. I can just encourage you with love from afar. You didn't miss anything, Candace. We're just stretching. Come on in. But I can see Candace, and as I said that, like I can see Candace coming in one more time. Each side here. It goes as low as you like on this one. Oh my goodness. Yeah. One more breath. Inhale it up. Exhale. Reach it, go nice and slow here. So I'm just going to be going into nice, low, slow practice. Make sure you've got something to protect your knees, something to protect your elbows and your arms, and then we're going to come right on down here into all fours. Oh my goodness. Get right in over here and dip down into cat-cow. You've already been here today, so this is just a nice little movement to get you sorted and situated. And then maybe back square center, press the hands down, press the tips of your toes down, and then shift forwards for me. Coming into wrists. And you can see as I I come forwards, you know, my shoulders really dramatically come right over top of my hip, my wrist points. And that's really to get into my carpal tunnels, which is, you know, really highly intense in some people. If you do a lot of computer work, your carpal tunnels will definitely be creepy at you. So this is a great way to shift out of it. Come back, press back here, rest that. And you'll feel the blood flow come right back into your wrists and your hands as soon as you release. Come back into center for me, point your fingertips to the outer edge of your mat. Again, shift back and forth, and then shift all the way forward. You can see my shoulders go dramatically over on top of my wrist points. You should be coming into thumb pads right now. And engaging your belly, pull your belly right in so you can really feel the broadening of your back. And hopefully you can see that from where you are with your terminal on my back, like really big and wide here. We'll take one more breath and then we'll come back into center. Let's come into palms up. So take your palms so that they face up towards your face. Inhale, lengthen, and then shift only as much as it feels comfortable. You can see here, I can barely shift it up. Take one more little squish here. If you're looking out, what are you looking at? And then come back into center for me, you guys. Give a little shake. So like I said, I'm going to go really low today. Anytime you want to come up into a full down dog, I want you to do it. Otherwise today, I'm just coming into all fours. And if you're coming and wanting to come and take a full down dog, please do it. I'm taking a moment or two, like take 2 more breaths here. And as I said, I'm coming into all fours so you can come into down dog. Taking your head down, taking chin from shoulder to shoulder. And rounding on up, let's take left leg forwards between hands here. And then just gonna come in and walk my back knee back. So I'm just keeping my back knee down today. If you wanna lift up that back knee, I want you to go right ahead and do it. Inhale, arms reach up, coming into your low lunge, reach up nice and wide here. Take your hands behind your head and then lift elbows nice and wide, chin comes up towards the ceiling. Nice, deep exhalation to find root down, right? I'm always saying that to you guys, especially when we're going low and slow, the rooting down process is huge. You gotta sink down. Make sure you protect your knees, anything on underneath your right knee right now, if you need to put a cushion or something or a blanket. I don't know if you even notice that it's super wobbly. We'll take one more here and then we're gonna come and inhale, reach up the arms. We'll take the hands back behind now. Inhale again, lengthen. Option is to stay right up here, which I actually think I will because I don't think I can take my face down. But second option here is if you want to come down into this, I'll just do a quick demo for it. Taking your heads forward down between your knees and your foot, your knee and foot. I'm just going to come right back up here again and then just lean up. So that's your option there, either face down, moving towards the ground, or shoulders up, chest up, and face up. Take one more breath here for me, and then we'll come into our twist, okay? And then take right hand down, left knee opens, shoulder stack, and then you're gonna look right over to the left hand side. We'll come in just for this last little breath here in the twist. And then we're gonna come and take the hands and walk slightly forward up, right over here, slightly forward up. And I'm gonna walk my left foot towards my right hand. The right foot towards left foot towards right hand, pardon me. So it's almost set to the center of the mat, almost to the right or outer edge of the mat. So we're walking in very high pigeon here, super high pigeon. I actually don't know if you're warm enough to do this, but if you are, I want you to do it. First option is going to be to kind of just bend the right knee back behind you. Okay, so there's the knee bend. Second option is to take the right hand to come and hold on to the right foot. So that's going to be your second option. Like I said, it's still going to be intense today. It's just going to be low. Kind of starting right in the first 10 minutes too. Remember, protect that back knee. Protect it. Don't let it go too far. We'll get you for one more breath here. And if you don't have the hold of your hand, use a strap or something that's available. Release that. Come and take your both of your hands right back down. I want you to settle down for just a second here before then you come lift up that back knee. Slide your left foot back behind you. Come into all fours again. Drop your hips forwards, come into your cobra. Shoulders really pulled back, nice and long. And then press back, either all four, like I'm doing, child's pose, or down dog. Even as you settle in all four or down dog, press the hands down deeper, really engage in the belly, and let the head and neck drop. Take one more breath. And the right leg, take it up. Oh, there you go. I'm really feeling it today, you guys. Holy moly, we're like all woozy. Again, here with that back knee, I've got it pulled back as far back as I can. And if you want to lift that up, you go right ahead. And if you want to keep it down, I'm going to go. Inhale, arms reach up, coming into hands behind the head, and then come into this lift in cobra. And then lift up the sternum and cobra back. Arms in the head, reaching up and long, hey? Oh, Gertie's face is already you don't need to see what I look like. All you do is meet Gertie's face. She's not looking at anything. Let's take over here, just lifting up that sternum, nice sinking down to the hips. Your arms might be feeling a little bit numb right now, so here we go. We're going to take the hands right back behind you and continue that lift, right? So I'm going to pull that shoulder blade back, pressing the hands back down behind you. So again, option, you're going to come either lean forward and take your head down, which I'm not going to do. I can actually barely do that demo, or you just stay right up here with me, okay? And all of it is good. It's all good news today. My breath tends to get even deeper as I'm trying to steady. So I don't like wooze on over, knock on over there into the camera. Whew. Take one more breath and then just release the hands. Come and take your left hand down, open up that right knee, and then here you go. You're going to stack your shoulder, and the gaze is right over towards my right leg or right shoulder. Let's go, staying right here for one more breath, and then we'll drop that head down. And again, I'm going to sneak that foot just right across the center of my mat and almost towards my left hand. Like it's almost going to go right over to the left hand. An option for you guys here, if you want to lift up that back knee, I want you to go and just feel that for a second, but we are going to do that little knee bend. We're staying right here to settle down. So back knee can be up or down on this one. All right, settle down in, back knee comes down, and here we go. We can take it up. You can stay right here. You don't have to move, just find that bend, or you're gonna come in and take that, oh my gosh, there we go. Like, can I even do that? So left hand comes and grabs left foot. I've got my elbow just right close by to my right knee here, and I'm actually using that to steady myself right now. You can also use a block underneath your right hand, and of course a block underneath the left knee to make sure that you can stabilize as well. Nice big intense stretch into the hip and the knees here. Always discontinue. If your knees hurt in any way, stop. Don't do it, okay? There you go. Oh, release. Right. And then come and just lift that up for a second, and then go ahead and slide it back. Come on down, you guys. All four. Child's pose or down dog. I'm just going to take a minute and just gather up here, maybe do a cat-cow or C-spine. Now you can do all this in your down dog or your child's pose. The movements all mimic the same. It's just really the height that makes a difference here. Drop the head. Settle deep into the toes, whether you're on your all fours or any of the positions that I've said, which I'm kind of blanking out now. And I will actually just come into child's pose. If you need to come into child's pose with me, please go right ahead, or you can stay in your down dog or your all fours. Shifting here for one more breath. And then inhale up, nice and slow. Come and meet me in your seated position. Take your legs so that they're just right in front of you. Give yourself a little tap here. And I actually had no idea, I'm just going to move this for a second. I actually had no idea how affected I am by my vertigo today, quite honestly. I'm kind of like moving way slower than I normally would. So I don't know, maybe it's good news for you guys. Maybe you're like, that's good. That's a good old time. We're going to take your hands right behind you again, and then you're gonna come and lift up into your sternum. Nice and long over here. And then we're gonna come dip from side to side, okay? So I'm gonna take my elbows and I'm gonna dip from one side. So when you come into this dip, there's one option you can do that if this makes it better for you is to take the top hand and take it up and reach up higher. Otherwise, just take it both hands behind your head. The reason why I do this is because it gives your head a frame and your neck a frame so you don't pull too far back, right? So you never want to pull too far back and then you lose your way a little bit. Inhale it up and then exhale. Flexion to the other side. Ooh. And I'm active, I'm really active in my feet, my hip bones, my sit bones, everything's super active. And then inhale, rise on up for me, arms reach up, shake it out. And as you come in here, let's come into your eagle arms. When you've got yourself in your eagle arms, if this is a little bit too intense, as you know, the modification is just to come and hold opposite shoulders, okay? Come into your nice deep reach into your cobra arm, or cobra arms, eagle arms. Oh, option here, and I got ready, come here. Get out the camera. Option here, legs are straight, or you can cross one leg over top of the other. So this is a nice option, especially like normally we're standing and we cross one leg over top of the other. And now we're just going to come into our landing eagle pose. Oh, this is so nice. And just go as deep as you can. No. So I'm just crossing one leg right over top of the other and just coming into my seated eagle or my landed eagle. So it's kind of like feels nice. I've got my hands just reaching deep between my eyebrows, just kind of like massage that area. There's an inhale to rise. Release, shake out the arms first and then immediately come into the other side. So option here, stay. Second option, this one, I'll just keep this way just so you can see, and then you're gonna uncross, and recross, inhale, lengthen, exhale, come forward. Oh, feels so nice. So I haven't let you go too far yet. I just wanted that little break in between that deep flexor movement because we're gonna come into another deep flexing movement as well. That's nice and low. And both of them are pretty intense. It's camel and, what's the other one? And King Arthur. So we're gonna be doing both, okay? And there we go, slow and steady wins the race, release here, shake it out. I'm like super sweaty, I have no idea why. Actually, it's so funny because I'm glad I'm on Zoom. If anything happens to me, call emergency. Candace knows where I live. Right. I'm just getting my bolster out, and if you have a blanket or a block or something like that, I want you to come and make sure you have it just ready for your knee. And here's what it looks like. I've got both of my knees on top of the bolster. I do this because I have knee issues, and this is just a nice way of handling my knee issues. All right, so that's my first movement here. And again, a towel is just as nice too. If you don't need anything, that's awesome as well. Take your hands so that they're just right on your hips and your thumbs just at the back of your little dimples in the back of your butt here. Pull the shoulders back, elbows back, and then let's kind of lift up the chest again. You've been here so many times today already. This is a movement, obviously, because I've got vertigo. I'm just practicing in this practice for myself because I need to lift up. Otherwise, as soon as I look down, I'm like losing all out here. So here's the first beginning of our half camel. We'll take another 2 more breaths here. And every inhale, I try and come up a little higher. My throat comes up, my chin comes up. We'll take 1 and 2. Start articulating your pelvic tilt. Come on right back down into all fours. Or child's pose completely. Like you can come all the way down to child's pose if you want. We're just coming to all fours. We're going to come in and work into the other portion of our camel now. And I'm just going to grab a block for that. I'm taking a block to the outer edge of my left heel, and another block would be on my right heel. If you have that, great. If you don't worry about it because there's a modification for that. When you're ready, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, take your hands behind your back and then come and lift and reach sternum up. On your next inhale, lift and lengthen your sternum even higher, and on the exhale, left or right hand comes and drops down to the block. Now, if you don't have a block and you're just sort of like, where am I supposed to put it? You can actually have your hand just by your thigh, or if you want to go real deep, the hand comes to the back of the heel. I'm just not really there today, so I'm just going to take my hand back to my block. So option 1, 2, or the heel of the foot. And then I just want you to come and turn down. Turn and look down to either your left or right, wherever you have your hand. Wherever you have your hand, either on your block or your heel or on the side of your hip, just looking down. And you can see I'm all squared up, like I'm pulled all the way up, like super stretched in the front body fascia. We'll take one more breath here. And you're just gonna come and start turning like a little spiral. Come back down and then take your break. Cat cow if you need it. You can stack your feet if you need that as well. Next inhalation, rounding articulation up again, just taking my block and move it to my right heel, just my second side. Inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale, right hand comes and drops to all the other options before, either side of the leg into the block or your right heel. The top hand can stay up or it can come back behind you to hold your hip. Whatever you do is totally cool. Take your chin down to that bottom shoulder. Really feel like that turn. There's almost like a lateral turn, not almost, there is a lateral turn on here, and you're stretching all into the left side, the opposite side of where you're holding your hand and your gaze. We'll take 2. And then 1, inhale, lengthen. Just kind of like finding that spiral, and then exhale, coming down again. We're going to come into both hands now, into whatever you like here, right? It'll be either just like how we started at the beginning, or a little bit deeper. Let's come in, inhale, rolling it on up. Inhale, arms reach up. Here are all your faces. First step is to take both hands behind your back and inhale to lift. That was our first camel. Second option here is just to take the hands behind your back, behind your butt, and this comes into a deeper elevation, your camel. Last option is either hands come onto the heel of the foot or a block. I did 3 other blocks, so I just kind of like suffering through both hands down my heels here. This is intense. Both hands just coming back behind you. There's a lot of movement here in terms of like the lift and the drop of your hands behind you. I told you, even though this is a slow practice, we're still making it intense. Last one here. Whoa, this is a little bit rolling on up. Whoa, take it down. Please find your way to neutral, right? Shifting forwards and back. If you're on a block or a bolster, you can undo your feet, like come down to the flat foot and then just come and have a seat. Right down here. If this is too much for you, you can just stay at a tuck foot, so you can have a tuck foot or untuck your feet, whichever you prefer. And everything feels like super intense in me today. Just find a minute, or not a minute, find something, just find something. A little side to side before we come into our I just blacked out. I know what we're doing, I just blacked out on the name. Oh my gosh. Come back into center. Ooh, tap out the feet. King Arthur. We're coming to King Arthur now. So I'm still using my same bolsters, so you can have me on a block, bolster, or towel. And then again, I'll demo on the side that you can see first. So I'm just going to take my left leg to come up into my low lunge stance here, and my right knee will still stay onto my bolster. Taking the hand to come right back behind you, and again, we're going to come and lift up that sternum, that chest once more. I will be using my block today for just a little bit of help. Inhale, lengthen up. So I've got my block just on the outside of my left leg here, so I'm just going to use that for my help. My right knee is now going to come and lift up back behind me. So for some of us, this is it, right? Like I think I'm one of them today. This is going to be it for me, but I'll push forward to just demo it. You're going to come and hold right hand to right foot. Again, you've been here today already before. that holding on, that kind of theme, holding on. Both hands maybe come and hold yourself steady here, right? So that's your ultimate movement. And for me, I think I'm just gonna come back down here and just kind of feel this leg out for a second. I'm like super wheezy. Oh, it's interesting. Probably should not have had that coffee this morning. So here we go. We'll take another breath and then we'll come into half splits right after this. For perfect preparation for half splits. Back foot comes down, release your hands one at a time if you have them, both done. Then I'm gonna take my hands back down over here and then I'm just gonna straighten out my front leg to come into my half splits. We'll always take advantage of the half splits twist here, okay? So I'm gonna take my right hand on top of my left leg and then just gonna come and twist towards my left hand side. So whenever you're twisting, you're turning the belly towards the extended leg of what's right over in front of your body. Take another breath here, and then rotate right on back, and then just gonna kind of do a little switcheroo. We'll take my left knee back here, and then my right leg will come up to the front. So there we go, I've got that one all steady here, okay? Whew. There we go, so I'm just gonna come and find my knee all set and nice, and I'll take my hands behind my back, sternum lift, inhale, lift it up. So this cobra shape that we've been doing this whole entire time is an ask, right? Anytime you lift your sternum up is to ask to receive something. And for me today, I'm asking to receive more grounding, to stay more close to the floor. So it's a place where you are asking and you're receiving at the same time. Keep pulling shoulder blades back. I've got another 2 more breaths here for you. And here's your last one. Release it out. Again, I'm just going to use my block as a little bit of help. I've got it on just to the outside of my right leg, and then just going to come into that back knee bend. My left knee will bend. And here's your full demo of taking left hand to left foot, right hand to right foot. And if you're fine there, stay there. And if you're not, don't worry about it. Just come into whatever feels the best, either a hold or not hold, but you can keep that bend. And I'm not going too far. I'm still just staying right here. Like I'm not going into too deep of a lunge. I've already done that today. I'm just trying to find balance is what I'm really looking for here. Squeezing your thighs together and maintaining a stacked hip, right? So nice and steady here. Let's go for another one and we'll come into lunge, okay? There you go. Drop it back. And then you drop it back, and then come all the way back into the lunge. Here you go. There you go. And then we'll kind of work towards our twist. I'm just going to take my right hand, my left hand onto my right foot, and then I'm just going to come and turn towards my right side. And you can sit as low as you want. Remember to talk about like these half splits. The deeper you go and the straighter your back, the bigger the stretch you get with your hamstring and your back. And there we are. Inhale, take it up. Both knees either come back together on a bolster, or you're going to come onto a towel or block whatever you like. And then let's just take a brief moment to just clap those feet aside, up and down, and then we'll do that press again. So either feet are flat like that, or feet are tucked. And then we're going to come and have a sit right down here. And the whole point of this one is if your back is nice and straight, you can see I'm up and down. It's going to put more intensity onto your feet. And if you're leaning forward more, there's less intensity to the feet. So it's whatever you like. So it's whatever you like. All right. So let's just have a hot second over here, holding everything in, shoulders back again. Sternum can lift if you'd like that. We've done it a ton already today, so it's like there's no point in holding back these sternum lifts now. There we go. Coming back, I'm sure someone's toes are already down. Shift it forwards, and then we'll come and give a little tap again. Tuck those toes, and we always bounce off. If you did already this, then you're gonna just kind of stay in this position. If you had the flat fascia thing that I just did, so now we're gonna come into just looking for tail. So you're gonna, I'm just gonna come into this toe tuck and just have a seat here beside you, nice high seat. We're coming into standing forward fold, and just another moment here. There you go, hands come forward, lift up the butt, and then come into standing forward fold. Let's shift the hips from side to side. Bend the elbows as much as you like, bend the knees as much as you like, and then come either hold behind you, in front of you with your elbows, or just let your fingers and arms drag nice and low. And I'm just going to get this bolster out of the way. And I'm just going to come meet on the ground once more. So I'm going to come and meet you on the ground, and I'm just going to come and lay flat right in front of you. And I'm going to take my knees, so they sway from side to side here. Oh, there's Gertie, she's doing the same thing. Can't see her now, but she's doing the same thing. All right, so from here, I'm going to take my legs flat, and then I'm going to take my arms right in front of me for Sphinx. So arms, forearms just taking right down, and then I'm going to pull my chest up. All right, so I'm going to come into Sphinx with a half frog leg. So I'm going to take one leg side, I'm going to come and bend the knee so it just comes to my side. If you wanted it a little bit more intense, you could push your arms so that they're up straight with the knee bent beside you. So that's option one. I'm going to go back to this one, option two. The leg, only if your foot is, if your body is down, then you would come and extend that leg here to come into your half frog with a Sphinx fold. You could, yeah, you can do that too, but that's really, that's a lot on the hip and back. So make sure your arms are down if you're going to come and find this full extension. And then I'm just going to take it down. I'm just going to take my chin right down here. So we'll get a little bit more grounding on my breath with my chin down. And then go ahead. Now you're going to bend that knee down again. Take it back into center. If you want to get, if you're like coming up this way, you can take one last little shift up like that, or just stay down. And then go ahead, slide that leg right back. Give yourself that knee shift from side to side. All right, other side. Take your feet down nice and flat. Take the other knee to come so that you're in that little half frog position. Option to lift up the arm a little straighter, or just to stay down. So forearms are firmly down, fingertips are really engaged, shoulders pulled back, neck is long, always the same cues. And if you want to, here's your full extension. Full extension of that foot out nice and wide. I've even got my knee lifted a little bit, so I can really get into that hip flexor. I'm going to take my chin down again. Really get that length going. Go for 2 more breaths here. There you go. Last one. Bend that knee. Take it down so it's just in its half frog bend stage, and then kind of slide it all the way back down. Knees from side to side again. So we're going to come and do a turn on the side. I don't know if I need to go a little bit further back. I will, maybe just so you can see. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn to the side like that. So I'm going to come and grab my right leg and my right hand to my right leg. I'm going to extend the left side, and I'm going to roll to my left side, if that makes sense. And then holding on to my right leg with my right hand. So just a half bow pose. And then soften the knee, roll it on back. Take both arms straight. So I'm just going to come to the other side now. I have my left hand holding onto my left foot, and then I'm going to roll to my right side. And here I've got the hold. I'm just resting my head and my ear on top of my right arm so that I can get a little bit more space in the neck and back. Now just remember the typical hold for any of this is about 5 to 8 breaths at the most. In a flow practice anyways, in a yin practice, you can go for 5 minutes. And there we go, rolling on back into center. Please take your chin down onto your hands and both knees will come in from side to side. I'm going to come meet you on your seated position whenever you feel ready, okay? So I'm just rocking all the way back. I'm going to do a turn. I'm going to come and meet you in seated position with my girdle in front of me. Take both knees towards your chest and give yourself a nice hug. Now this can be done on the ground or seated. I'm just doing it on the ground. Nice big hug, opening through to the back, face coming down towards your knees. Nice cervical spine stretch, your neck stretch here. And then let's come and inhale, lengthen. Let's go left leg length and right leg comes right over on top of the thigh. So right foot comes onto left thigh. Remember, protect yourself. If you need a towel or something, please go and drop that in between your, between your pants so that you're not like killing your thigh flesh with your bony ankles. So you're gonna hold on. I'm just holding on with my left hand onto my right foot and then just gonna come into a turn. Option here is to completely let go and then take your left hand and hold onto that knee and rotate. Now the only thing that would stop you here is really, again, the ankle, the boniness of the ankle on top of that thigh. It doesn't feel that great. Again, deeper would be to come and take the hand and completely rotate and turn and looking right back behind you. Second option would probably just be to drop that foot right down and then have your knee come up as well. So, this twist can come in any variation that feels the best for your body. I'm coming into forward fold in this though, meaning back in center, and I've got my shin just right in front of me, and then just gonna come and walk forward. I'm taking my right hand and grabbing my right foot, left hand holds onto, opposite. Right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot, and then gonna pull forward. And fall forward. And use a strap if you need it, or maybe you just wanna have hands on either side and then just fall this way too. So you actually don't even have to anchor onto your feet. This is what I'm doing right now. And then let's come on up. Classic finish on this side is just to hold up here and do this little like half pigeon or a seated pigeon pose coming forward. And this one, you work for your whole life for this one, right? Like no matter what you do, you're always working on it. I'm always pulling up just a little bit closer, a little bit higher. The end game on this one, if you didn't already know, I'm sure I've told some of you guys, is that the foot comes behind the head. That's what we're actually trying to do every time, is keep moving towards the chest and behind the head. So envision that, put that in your head, and that's what's gonna happen one day. And there you go, exhale, press it forward, a little tick tap here, and then come and meet me with the other side, okay? So I'm just taking my other leg now, giving you a little toggle as I put the ankle on top of my opposite knee thigh. I need to find that ring first before I turn. Every turn feels a little woozy. So I'm either gonna hold my hand onto this foot and then take my other hand to go backwards. So that's one. Or I take this hand off and I come and pull and rotate. Here's two. And if it really bugs you, you can come and turn that knee right up. But the only reason I'm not doing it is because eventually I want a forward fold in this. I'm just gonna leave this right here. And really in yoga, there is a certain, like a small amount of pain that's always you kind of have to fight through. And that really is like digging of bones into flesh. And it's kind of like one of the initiation rites of being in your yoga practice, digging some sort of ankly bone into your flesh. Back into center. Both hands either come wide, that's option one. Second option is opposite hand to opposite foot. Okay, so left hand grabs right foot. Right hand grabs left foot and then come forward. So I'm just basically holding myself in the network here. Each breath you breathe brings you closer, I swear to God, every time. And it works. It's just your time is different than my time, it's different than someone else's time. Whatever your goal is, whatever your intention, it comes closer and closer with every breath that you breathe. There we go. Let's come and just slowly wiggle our way up. Taking our end game, remember this guy, gotta pull it up here, and whether you're holding that knee or you're gonna come under or over, it doesn't matter, we all have that same work to pull it as close as we can to us. And that work is close, as close as we can, we have to pull and pull and pull, okay? All right, let's come into that extension. We'll come in. I'm gonna pull my birdie around my lap here. I wish you could see her. Then we're gonna come and find a nice long seated pose. It's called Dandasana seated pose. It is seated pose right here. Hands are gonna be either on your thigh or by your side. If you like this one, you can also do this one. So seated stack pose one more time, each way, reach it over the head. And again, right, you can take your hand behind the head. This just keeps you square, that's all it does. When you put your hand behind your head like this, where you're holding the back of your cranium, you can dip as low as you can. And then on up. And then switch. Kind of reaching as low as you can. Inhale forward. And let's come and sit in seated meditation for a few moments to end our practice, hand on thighs. And I don't know if you remember last week where we did our metta meditation. It's really a really cool thing to send out energy and vibes to someone. If you want to do that today, we can do something just really simple. Imagine someone that we love so much and just feeling them in our body and then sending them out everything that we feel about them towards them. And then looking within yourself and noticing what you need to receive and let go of today. Soften your eyes, your mouth, your throat, your jaw. Soften into your sit bones, into your shoulders. And then come invite me to come and meet me with hands in her center. Probably she's inviting me to do the same thing. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much once again. We'll hear news about whether we can practice together once more in a studio together pretty soon. But I want to thank you for coming, joining me in the Zoom practice, and for kind of enjoying my floods today. It's like it was a bit of a blur for me. Thank you so much. As you always know, the light in me is not support the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And